After shooting his best friend in the face, he then ate some of his brains. I'm True Crime Caitlin, and this is the murder of Donald Limming. Donald Limming and David Allen Chapin had been best friends since their childhood. Both of their families lived nearby each other, so they were close and they were all really good friends. When their college years quickly rolled around and both of the young men decided that they were going to be going to the same college, it was a no-brainer that they would get an apartment together and become roommates. They went to college in Milford, Ohio. On the evening of the 3rd of October 1978, both Donald and David, who were 23 years old, got into a really fiery argument about their different religions. David was Baptist, meanwhile Donald was Buddhist, Catholic and pagan. At some point during their argument, David would pull a gun on his best friend and shot Donald in the eye, which killed him instantly. After this, he then consumed parts of Donald's brain. David would load Donald's body into the boot of his car and drove to the campus of the university that they were attending, Raymond Walters College, which is now US Blue Ash College. David tracked down his professor and quite casually told him that he had a dead body in the boot of his car if this professor just so happened to want it so he could dissect it in one of their classes. Obviously, the professor said absolutely not and contacted the police, who swiftly arrested David. At the beginning of his trial, he tried to put forward a plea of insanity. He was assessed by a court-ordered psychiatrist, and he told the psychiatrist that he had only ate part of Donald's brain because it was a mutual agreement. This was something that Donald wanted and consented to. The psychiatrist would note that as David was describing what he had done to Donald and what followed, he had a warm smile on his face. David Chapin would be determined fit to stand trial, and he would go on to be convicted of the murder of Donald Limming. Since his incarceration 47 years ago, he has applied for parole 6 separate times, all of which have been denied.